Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for mid-May 2024. We are just going to jump right in here, Virgo. You have this card that says a win-win outcome is forecast. That's amazing. You have this personal issue reaches resolution. I do feel like you've been working on personal issues for like a while. So, I think that you've just based off of Virgo's astrology, there are things that you've had to deal with. And you're just kind of like correcting things in your life, or it's been like a long period of having to do that. And now you're just like moving past it. So, I don't think it's a big deal at all. I think that it is a good thing. I think there's good stuff, coming in for you because of it. But let's see what is going on for you here. You have the Page of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. The Page of Cups could be new love if you want it. Are you kidding? Here you go. Right here. So there could be new love coming in for you. This month, I would say the entire summer really is good for love. Like if you want love, I would, leave the house and, go start dating or put yourself out there in some way because that's the only way you're going to find love. But what I would say is if you want it, it exists. So you just have to put yourself out there. The Page of Cups is also like a dream. He has like this fish in his cup, and I always say that fish might not exist. That fish might be part of his imagination. So I feel for a lot of you that, you could be, that it kind of represents the fact that like he needs to grab onto that fish and make sure it doesn't escape into the water here. So if there's something that you're dreaming of creating or doing with your life, get started. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is about building something that provides for a long time. This is... Ten of Pentacles is building and leaving a legacy. So a lot of you could be kind of working on bigger goals, wishes, and dreams. I feel for a lot of you that you're just, the word like establishment pops up a lot. And I feel that for some of you, you're just trying to establish yourself in the world or, establish yourself as being seen as something. And I feel the Ten of Pentacles is kind of like you working towards, establishing yourself as something. It's also an amazing card for love. So the Ten of Pentacles is like everything you want and desire in a connection. And there could be a really strong connection coming in for you here, especially like sometimes when I read the tarot, I just, I look at the cards here that are going this way and I just think to myself, like, what is the story that's going on here? Like, how do these all connect, right? And, this could be like an admirer coming in for you that leads to your Ten of Pentacles but it might be something where you have to like be bold and assertive to go for it. The Queen of Wands is about being bold and assertive and really going for something, but it also says like a person's attracted to you. This is my card of seduction. So if you're worried about like a new person being attracted to or whatever, I wouldn't worry about it. I think that there is like a person coming in for you that's very attracted to you. It could be a water sign based off this. It could be any sign, general reading, but it could also be a fire sign. And I would say go for it. The Queen of Wands is also my card of like not really knowing where you are going. She only has the sunflower to trust. She only can trust her inner guidance system. That sunflower points towards the sun. So she moves towards things that bring more joy and abundance into her life. But that's not necessarily like logical. She is trusting in emotion. She's not like trusting necessarily facts, right? Although there will be facts if she starts moving in that direction. The whole point of the Queen of Wands is that you have to learn as you go. And I feel some of you are kind of doing that. Like you're learning things as you go along. So especially for those of you that are working on a goal, wish, dream, or even a new beginning, you have two aces. Two aces is something new in your life. If you're working on something new, it's kind of like you're just having to trust that, and you're having to learn a lot as you go. With the Page of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune. And yeah, I do feel like there are like changes in your fortunes here. I'm pretty sure this has come up for you before, but the Wheel of Fortune is like fortunes turning in your favor. It can also kind of represent like the next stage of a journey in some ways. That's what's popping into my head is it's almost like, it's almost like there is something, I don't want to say there's something that you can't do anymore, but it's almost like there is something that you can't do anymore in the same way. It's like, the crazy example that's popping into my head is it's like, why do you think every like big athlete, right? They all like start companies or they all invest in businesses and things like that. It's like, cause at a certain point, they just aren't as good as they used to be because they're getting older. So they have to like transition to something else. And I hope this is making sense, but that's kind of what I get here. Like, I'm not saying you're getting older here, Virgo, but I am saying it's like, there might be certain things in your life that just don't work like they used to. And I kind of see you, just doing that next step, like, investing in businesses. That's just an example, but, you could be doing anything. Yeah, with the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Tower. I feel like this first position kind of represents your past position. I think you've experienced tower moments or something, but I also feel pretty good about this. Again, I really see your readings lately, like the past month or so, all about reinventing yourself in work. So a lot of you, if you were to reinvent yourself in work, that would be a tower moment. You're going from one thing to another, you're seeing a new reality, you're embracing a new reality. The whole point of the tower is that those people have been ignoring reality and now they're being brought back down to reality so they can see things for how they actually are. And it's almost like that there needs to be a new beginning with these two aces. So I don't feel bad about this. I think that you just know that there has to be a change. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is holding on too tightly to the past. So I would make sure you're moving towards new things, or you're kind of like working on new projects, or you're working towards, new beginnings or whatever. You have the Seahorse. It says watch and wait. You have this Owl Spirit. It says you see clearly now. So I feel you're gaining a lot of clarity on life lessons. It's kind of funny because your opposite sign, Pisces, had a very similar reading. If you have Pisces in your chart, I would definitely go watch that reading. But, I kind of get this feeling that you are just seeing life clearly. You're seeing the actions you need to take clearly, where maybe things have not been very clear. I also feel like you have a lot of questions as to, like, why certain things had to happen to you, with the Five of Pentacles here. Like, why did you have to experience certain challenges? Why did you have to go through certain things? And the last row represents the good stuff, but you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. And so maybe you kept repeating something, like a mistake, or maybe you've made the same mistake over and over and over again. We all have, not a criticism. Every human on Earth does it, right? But I kind of feel, I don't feel good or bad about this card. I feel more neutral. I feel it's saying that you are seeing, like, why you had to learn certain lessons, which is great because then you can avoid it moving forward. You have the Ace of Cups here. Yeah, again, I mean, if this is love, I feel this is a person that probably changes your fortunes. It could be a fixed sign. It could be an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, or a Sagittarius with the Wheel of Fortune. You have Scorpio here as well with the Tower. So take it how it resonates, but, could be any sign. But what I would say is I feel this is like a very fortunate connection. I also feel this person has more than enough to give. The Ace of Cups is overflowing. So it would represent a person who really kind of brings a lot to the table, who wants to invest in the relationship a lot more, and all that other good stuff here, Virgo. You have the Moon, and again, the Moon is not clarity, so I feel like maybe, it's like being in a little bit of an illusion, and it's kind of weird because I do feel, intuitively that this is more saying that this is how you have been feeling. It's almost like the feeling of not being able to trust yourself. It's like you thought certain things in your life would go one way and they didn't, and now maybe for a little bit of time you've been in this energy of where you say to yourself, like, I don't know if I can trust myself, or I don't even know if I'm seeing things clearly. But the good news is, again, you have that Owl Spirit, and the Owl Spirit says you see clearly now. So I kind of feel like you're no longer investing in illusions. I think you're much more clear on what your capabilities are, what's real, what's not real, all that other stuff. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the World. Love it. You have two portal cards here. Both of these cards kind of are portal cards. And the Wheel of Fortune, they both are circles, and they both represent kind of like being in the center of the circle. With the Wheel of Fortune, we want to live at the center of the wheel. If we live at the center of the wheel, we can see things coming and going. We can see the good stuff that's coming into our lives. We can pay attention to the bad stuff that's coming. We can double down on the good stuff. We can get rid of the bad stuff very quickly, which is what we should do. With the World, we are creating our own world. She is a sorceress, this lady in the middle, and she creates with manifestation. Like, one wand is like the Magician's wand, represents manifestation. The other one represents like action, the actions that she can take. So it looks to me like you're kind of mixing both together. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, it could be a water or an earth sign here, but I would say it's like a new person, and I feel like this could start out as like communication, where you just start communicating with the person, and then it kind of like develops from there, but definitely a new person. With the Moon, you have the King of Wands, so there you go. You have the King and Queen of Wands right here. I really like the King and Queen of Wands together. That to me is a lot of desire, a lot of attraction, so you definitely could be attracting a person. Clearly, you have the Lovers right here, where the two of you really desire each other. Definitely could be a hot and heavy connection as well, being the two Wands cards. I also feel that you yourself are embracing that fiery, moving forward, kind of learning as you go type of energy. The King of Wands is also like a visionary. He has foresight. And so he can, imagine new things that have never been created before. And he's like a little bit innovative. He can innovate and come up with new ways to live his life or new inventions or whatever. And I feel a lot of you could, if you like have any new innovative ideas, I would embrace that. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this change in the wind card and this by the book card. So there's clearly a change in the way that you live your life. Again, it's like you've been living it a certain way, and now you're just changing it, and that's it. That's all I feel here for you, Virgo. I feel like you're just like kind of changing the way that you live your life. You have the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Lovers. The Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. So I feel for a lot of you that this is saying, coming up in the good stuff, it would say that you are ending a nightmare. I also, again, I get that clarity thing. It's like maybe you kept repeating a mistake, or maybe you kept, buying into an illusion over the past couple of years, whatever that is. It could be in love, but, it's like maybe every person was different that you dated, but maybe they also all presented like a similar illusion, right? And I feel that that is what's coming to an end here. Same thing in business. It's like maybe you have a habit of always getting like super excited about something and then it doesn't work out. And I feel it's like that's what the reading is saying to me, is it's like that type of thing in your life where you get really excited, or you really embrace an idea and it turns out not to be true or whatever. And I kind of feel like this is not a bad or good thing. Like I said, I actually feel because of this that the Tower is good in your reading, because it's really saying that the Tower is an illusion, kind of. The Tower, they are ignoring reality, so they are not seeing reality for how it actually is. And I think the whole entire reading is saying you see clearly now. You see the reality for how it actually is. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning. Also, you have the Lovers here, so there could be a very passionate connection coming in for you if you want love. The Ace of Wands is also like a lot of growth, and it's also out with the old and with the new. So I feel for a lot of you that these are like new beginnings that are coming into your life. And it just looks like a really positive new beginning energy. You have the Lovers, and the Lovers, of course, can represent love. Definitely a really good love reading if you want it. Even if you don't want it, the Lovers could represent a choice that you have to make. And of course, with the two aces, I would pick the new path. I would pick the new choice. So if you're being presented with any choice, even with the World, the World is completion. It represents ending one thing and starting another. In the major arcana, we go from the Fool to the World, then we just start all over again as a Fool. We are always completing that cycle in life. And so you could be kind of, completing a cycle. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Empress. So definitely could be love coming in for you. The Empress is like a lot of abundance as well. So you could be attracting more abundance. I feel like it's coming through this like change in work that we talked about at the beginning of the reading. So if you're like upgrading your skills, or again, it's almost like you're presenting your work in a different way. Like I gave you the example, like people in sports, right? It's almost like you're kind of like taking something to its next logical step, and, I think that's what's going to increase your abundance. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Six of Wands. I mean, you could have like the pick of the litter this month. This could say that a lot of people are attracted to you right now. The Six of Wands is also a card of success. He's having a victory. He's sitting on his high horse, and he's receiving recognition for the work that he's done. I kind of feel like you're getting the right type of recognition. It's like maybe you have always received recognition. Maybe you have always received attention. But it's almost like now you're kind of like receiving the type of attention that you want. And I don't know what the hell that means, but there you go. With the Lovers, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I like the Six of Pentacles in the good stuff. This would represent a person who really puts in the work, a person who really wants things to work. And it would also represent equal give and take in the area of the good stuff. On top of all that, like I've been saying, again, if you're trying new things, Six of Pentacles is experimentation. It's like planting seeds, trying new things in your life, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and, paying attention to that. You have the Are You Kidding? You have this innovation card. So a very innovative time for you. I felt that on the King of Wands. So I feel for a lot of you, your innovative, unique ideas are going to be the thing that makes you innovative and unique. So like I said, it's like maybe there are things you can't do the same way that you used to be able to do them, but you could be taking a new approach to how you do things, and that could make you, ridiculously successful. Again, I try to say this in like every one of my readings, and I try to provide examples because, it's like I think we have a amazing opportunity right now, everybody, to make a lot of money doing something. And, there are different innovative ways that you can do that. And it's like, just look at YouTube. It's like there are people who do like everything and make a bunch of money doing it by how they present it on their YouTube channel. It's like, there are people who do things that normally wouldn't make you a lot of money, and they do because of how they present it. Yeah, you have this originality card. Are you kidding? basically everything I just said. I feel like you are original. The way you do things is original, and you could be kind of using that for success. You have this influence card. Definitely, you could be attracting a person of influence. Normally, I don't like this card, but I feel pretty good about it. Like, I feel like you could be attracting an influential person or maybe a more successful person, whatever. Next, you have this fortune card. Yes, good fortunes coming in for you. Wheel of Fortune showing up in your reading. There's a change in your fortunes. Again, this isn't going to magically happen, so you have to put in the work. And also, I think you have to make that transition like we were talking about. There's some sort of transition that is going to bring these fortunes for you. But again, if you're making a change in work or business, it looks amazing. You have this birth card. Again, if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful, but definitely could be, and you have the Empress as well, but this could also just be the birth of an idea or the birth of something new, which we do see here. So this looks amazing here, Virgo. Love it. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.